Hi everyone, it's Megan from the Social and Content team. Welcome back to the Adore Beauty YouTube channel. Today I am back with you all again to help you find the perfect foundation for you. So when choosing the right foundation, it can be really tricky, sometimes overwhelming, but don't worry, I've broken it down into 3 main categories for you. So as long as you fill in the information that we need within those categories, you will find your foundation soulmate in 2 seconds, maybe 3 or 4. But either way, you will find it. Okay, so the first main category is coverage. Now, coverage basically refers to how much of your natural skin you want to be showing through the foundation. So there can be light, medium, or full coverage depending on what your preference is. You can always shear different coverages out. So let's just say that you have a really full coverage foundation. There are ways of shearing that out, so they're not always static. So let's just say you want a light coverage for everyday wear, and then you want more of a medium to full coverage for your special event makeup. That's totally fine. One coverage does not always fit all. So coverage does not depend on your skin type or anything like that. It is literally just totally up to you and your preference and the occasion that you're wearing the foundation for. Okay, the next category is finish. So this is pretty much determining what kind of finish do you want your foundation to have on the skin. Now, you've probably heard of a few different finishes before. You've probably been familiar with matte, dewy, hydrating even, skin-like, or velvet. These are all different finishes. None are right, none are wrong. It just completely depends on what you want to look like at the end once you've popped your foundation on, as well as your skin type. So let's just say that you have a very dry skin type. You're looking to hydrate your skin. You're probably better off with dewy or skin-like foundation finishes. If you have oily skin, then you're probably better off with a matte or velvet finish if you're trying to aid against shine and sebum production throughout the day. If you've got a normal skin type and you really don't have any skin concerns, then you can go for whatever finish you like depending on the look that you're trying to achieve. If you have oily skin and you don't mind a really wet look, you can still have a dewy foundation. It's completely up to you, but if you are trying to aid against a certain concern, then it is best to try and counteract your concern with your foundation. So my personal favorite finish is like a satin to dewy finish, and that is because I have a normal to dry skin type. So me and Joe actually did a whole video on our favorite foundations within the dewy category, and you can find that here. Oh, you can't find it there. You can find that here. Okay, so you've worked out what your coverage preferences are. You've now worked out what your finish preferences are. It is now time to work out what shade you are in whichever foundation you have selected. Shade is basically made up of 2 categories. You first got your skin tone, and then you've got your undertone. Skin tone refers to how much pigment you can visibly see on the outer layer of your skin, aka the epidermis. So when you look in the mirror, what color are you seeing? Are you seeing light? Are you seeing medium? Are you seeing tan? Or are you seeing deep? Those are the main kind of categories that you will see within foundations, but that basically is just think of your skin tone as a scale. Which scale do you sit on depending on the amount of pigment in your skin? Your skin tone is not static. It can always fluctuate because it is on a scale. So your genetics, as well as how often you are exposed to UV rays, can always modify that. So once you know whether you're sitting within the fair, light, medium, tan, or deep range of your skin tone, we then need to work out what your undertone is. I'm sure you've heard of this before, but it can be quite confusing. So let's break it down. Now why do I keep muddling my words? I'm like Daffy Duck today. So there are 3 main undertones that you will probably fall into. So if you have got a cool undertone, your skin will probably throw off hues of pink, red, or blue. If you have a warm undertone, your skin will probably throw off hues of peach, yellow, or gold. And if you have a bit of both, then you're sitting within that neutral category. There are a few tips and tricks on how to work out your undertone if you can't pick it up visually. Like as in you just look in the mirror and you're like, yep, I'm a cool, or yep, I'm a warm. So let's go through those little tips and tricks. The first one is a paper trick. So you're going to want to grab a mirror, little handheld mirror, and you want to pop on a white top like I'm wearing today. And then you're going to need a white piece of paper. So holding the mirror up, pop the piece of paper right next to your face and try and work out whether your skin is appearing more yellow compared to the white piece of paper or more pink, blue, or red. If it's appearing yellow, goldy, or peach compared to the piece of paper, That's my Slack notification, and I was on such a roll. If you hold up the piece of paper and your skin is throwing off any gold, peach, or yellow undertones, then you are probably within that warm category. If you hold up the piece of paper and your skin is throwing off blue, red, or pink undertones, then you probably have a cool undertone. If you can't really tell, you're probably sitting within the neutral undertones. The next one is the jewelry trick. So I'm sure that you've heard of this one before. So if you feel like gold complements your skin tone better, you may fall under a warm undertone. If you feel that silver complements your skin tone better, you may fall within the cool toned bracket. If you can wear both, like I've got some silver rings on at the moment and then a gold necklace, you're probably a neutral undertone. I will say with the jewelry trick, it is completely indicative of your personal style as well. If you love silver, go for it. If you love gold, go for it. The third trick is the vein trick. So if you look at your veins anywhere they're visible on the body, you want to kind of see what color they are. So if you have blue or purpley veins, then you can be more towards the cool undertones. If you have green veins, it is said that you could fall into that warm undertone bracket. If you have both green or blue and purple veins all together, then you could be a neutral undertone. So to recap, I would first work out what kind of coverage you want out of foundation, what kind of finish you want out of your foundation, and then you have to work out your skin tone and your undertone within that foundation category. And there is one more thing that you need to take into consideration, and that is your budget. So obviously work within your price restraints, but remember there are so many on the market that you will always be able to find your perfect match. When you think that you've found your perfect shade, always be sure to swatch it on your décolletage, because you want to make sure that your face, neck, and chest are all one universal color. If you're buying online, then try out the website Foundation, which pretty much lets you put in a foundation that you already know your shade in, and it'll pop you out. Oh no, that sounds wrong. It'll give birth to the perfect shade for you, and it'll give you a match in another foundation that you haven't tried before. So that pretty much wraps up the starting point on how to find your dream foundation. Let me know if you have any questions at all. If you want to know more on foundation, then we can definitely do that in follow-up videos. If you'd like to see some more makeup related videos, then just click here. Bye guys.